Hey guys, welcome back. Today is fucking exciting because I think 343 may have just started laying the seeds for the return of the classic art style. Now, this information is kinda subtle, and it's something that not many people will pick up on, which is why I felt the need to make this video. Not only because I'm so fucking excited that we may have actually persuaded 343 enough to open up to Halo's classic art style, but because this information is so subtle and has such big ramifications, people need to hear it. So if you're excited for the possible return of the classic Halo art style, leave an iconic like, and also a comment just saying whatever the fuck you want, because I'm hyped, you're hyped, and we need to get into this. So you may or not know that 343 are going to be releasing a bunch of classic 1-to-1 Halo helmets in a few weeks for Halo 5. We're getting Mark V Delta from Halo 3, and Military Police, Recon Gen 1, EVA Gen 1, Security Gen 1, Operator Gen 1, EOD, CQB, and Pilot, all from Reach. Now, to begin with, the fact that all of these classic helmets and armor sets, and also weapons, have been added to post-Halo 5 wargame simulations is pretty telling in itself. This indicates that Spartan 4's training, presumably to fight the Created, are utilising old tech, which suggests that, like I've explained before, the UNSC are going to have to start using a lot of old tech to fight the Created, because of the restrictions that they place on things like interplanetary trade and travel, limiting production of things like weapons and armour, because the resources needed to make them that come from various locations can't be transported to the plant or location that they need to be turned into the tech. But there is more. The lore descriptions for these helmets recently maybe leaked on Halo Waypoint, and there are two that stand out: Mark V Delta and Recon Gen 1. Mark V Delta helmets are sourced from a cache of Spartan 2 materials uncovered at Songnam Special Warfare Center. A few are even etched with the hand-carved ID numbers of Spartans long since marked MIA. Only teams responsible for information sanitization operations on Created-occupied Earth have access to cutting-edge stealth and cyber warfare suites. Among these tools are upgraded and also up-armoured Recon Gen 1 helmets, custom-made for individual operatives. So let's start off with the Mark V. This description, to me, is the biggest hint, because we can infer from it that resources and supplies are so low that helmets being scavenged from random caches found across the galaxy are being used by Spartan 4s. Spartan 2 materials from long-lost armor caches are being used to fight the Created by Spartan 4s. This only adds substantial weight to my theory that resource constraints caused by the Created are forcing the UNSC to use old tech, and will be used as an explanation by 343 to explain why Halo 6 returns to the old classic art style. It's also going to be pretty interesting to see who some of these Mark V helmets belong to, considering the IDs of MIA Spartan 2s are etched into some of them, and there's a whole wealth of missing in action Spartan 2s, but that's besides the point. Let's move on to Recon, which is also important, but for a slightly different reason. The description states that only information sanitization teams on Created-occupied Earth are using upgraded and up-armoured Recon Gen 1. Now, I assume upgraded means basically just modified to sync and work with Gen 2 suits, but the fact that they're using Gen 1 helmets only adds more fuel to the low resources theory. Now, what's also really interesting about the Recon description is that it's classified as stealth and cyber warfare armor, which could actually provide 343 with another explanation for the classic art style returning. Maybe Oni and the UNSC have realised that the hyper-modern tech of the full Gen 2 suits is what Cortana and the AIs who have joined her Created are used to, considering that those that served as military AI likely spent most of their lifespans interfacing with Gen 2 suits, and that they're really easily hackable or maybe even controllable by them. Now, I know the idea of an AI remote hacking a suit of power armor is like a super common sci-fi trope, but the current story arc is about an AI uprising over morality, so nothing's really off limits by the looks of it. To get around this, they start using Gen 1 suits with totally different biases, or in this case they use a Gen 1 helmet with a Gen 2 suit, maybe using a BIOS that's like halfway between both generations, that many of the AI are unfamiliar with and therefore can't hack or control. I'm also intrigued as to what information sanitization operations are. Maybe operations to remove created control over networks or systems on Earth? It could be why stealth and cyber warfare tech like Recon Gen 1 for example is being used on these missions. I don't know though, if you have any ideas then of course let me know in the comments, because that's just a massive guess. I actually have no fucking idea what this means. So these two descriptions leave us with not only one, but possibly two hints that the classic art style may be returning with Halo 6. I'm actually pretty damn chuffed because I actually called the first explanation in the video like almost 2 months ago now. Resource shortages caused by the created policing the galaxy and blocking trade routes, which causes old tech to be reused. I mean, it makes sense, it fits the canon, it fits the current story arc, and requires next to no extra lore details aside from maybe the planets that Guardians are policing to make any sense. Now the second hint is a little bit trickier. It'd be useful to know what information sanitization operations actually are, but with the rest of the description we can make a logical assumption that Recon Gen 1 is being used to basically stay under the radar. Maybe it's something to do with the Recon variant itself, or that it's Gen 1 that the created AI aren't used to. Either explanation can be used easily by 343 to reintroduce the classic art style, just with a little extra canon to solidify this explanation specifically. So I hope this video gave you guys out there who, like me, really want the classic, iconic art style to return. I think we've stepped out of the realm of subjectivity though with these hints. I really think that this is a little wink wink nudge nudge from 343 to suggest that we're getting that beautiful aesthetic back, in some degree, at least in Halo 6. If these hints did give you any hope, which they damn well fucking should have done, then don't forget to leave a like and all that good jazz, and join me next time when we discuss something. I don't actually have any idea yet. I've got a bunch of cool video ideas. Obviously, I'll ultimately decide on one of them, but I haven't decided yet, so I guess you'll find out next time. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll catch you then.